hackers led by this one hacker, and they start doing really good things for the Earth. They're trying to save people from the dangers and pitfalls that come with technology. This is actually based off of a real guy, a real hacker. His name is Walter O'Brien. I had never heard of him before, but he's had a lot to do with protecting. He found the help, apparently aided in finding the Boston bombers, and he's not writing the show, but he's having a huge creative input. It's loosely based on his life, and he's a genius. They actually could have done a show just about his life because it's so fascinating, but apparently instead they decided to highly fictionalize it into a procedural. But,
right.
I'm looking forward to it. I wish that they would just have stuck with telling us about this real amazing character instead of trying to fictionalize one they thought was more appealing.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing is, right, TV's got to have that mass appeal in order for it to work.
That's very true.
Unfortunately, I mean, even though this guy may be very interesting, and at a certain point they got to switch things up. I know it hates the reality of it, but unfortunately that's the way it works. And I knew a little bit about what that storyline was about, only because on Big Brother, like probably about a month ago, like one of the surprises was they get a private screening if they win this competition. Like three of them get to watch a private screening of the premiere episode.
Oh, neat.
So they kind of went into a little bit of detail, not too much, but I knew about the hackers, and then it wasn't the hacker the hacker like a kid?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, because I remember seeing they showed bits and pieces saying, well, no, your son blah blah, but no, I can help him out.
Right. Yes, and see, that's the thing too is they've put the characters really young. Walter O'Brien is an older man. I think he's in his 40s or something. And so then they made him younger. So I'm like, man, that's not accurate.
Well, TV's not always accurate, right? Even though it says, the real story of blah blah, it may not be. There might be a lot of stuff missing or some stuff kind of altered a little bit to make the story more interesting, right?
That's very true. Always be careful when it's based on a true story. Based is a very general term. Sorry. Finish up, and then I'll get to the next thing. So sorry, I just thought of this, but no, we're good. I won't lose my train of thought with this one. So go ahead. Okay, well, I was pretty much done saying about having my piece about Scorpion.
Okay, well, what I was gonna say is I finally saw Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh wow, really?
I saw it on Monday.
Cool.
Have you seen it yet?
I have not seen it yet, but I keep meaning to. How was it?
It was actually really good. I was very surprised because I only known a little bit about it. I didn't know too much about it. I actually didn't even know it was Marvel, to be honest with you, when I went to see it.
Oh, really?
So, apparently it's an actual comic. I've never read the comic, so I don't know too much about the comic itself. But, it was really good. I mean, Chris Pratt did a really good job as a main role. And I can't remember all the characters' names. I remember a few of them, but they had a couple voices on there, they weren't doing characters. And one, there was two of them. There was Vin Diesel and Bradley Cooper.
Oh yes. And
Bradley Cooper, as far as I know, did Rocket the Raccoon.
That's correct.
Which was really funny. I mean, he did a really good job. And honestly, when he first started talking, actually, I didn't realize. I mean, even though they'd showed the name in the beginning before they started the movie, I actually didn't realize it was Bradley Cooper until a little bit till he spoke a little bit more, because it almost didn't sound like him.
Okay.
But it was really good, and they could have picked a better role for Vin Diesel, because we all know how much Vin Diesel pushes his voice in every single movie he does. So luckily he was Groot, and he can only say one phrase, and it could have been any better for him because he didn't talk too much, and it was just, I am Groot. It was like, this is fantastic.
Wow. Does he say it many different ways, or does he just repeat the same thing the same way?
Pretty much repeats the same thing the same way, and it pretty much means that he kind of talk. There's a meaning behind it, meaning I kind of just excuse me, kind of just double shot it there, but. What happens is, if he's trying to explain something, they'll say something to him. Let's say, excuse me, I thought we were friends, and he'd be like, I am Groot. I know, but so they know what he's saying. So it's like he's talking back to them, but he's just saying that one line, but they get what he's saying.
Wow, that's very interesting.
So like I said, that made me happy because when I saw Vin Diesel, I was like, oh, Vin Diesel, really? So
that's how I felt when I heard about. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Bradley Cooper's. When I heard that they said he's starring in Guardians of the Galaxy, I thought, is who? it turned out he was voicing the raccoon character. I thought, oh, well, this might be his best role to date.
But you know what? It was a really good movie. I was really surprised, and there's going to be a second one.
Yes, there is. They've already greenlit it.
Oh, really? Okay, because I just saw it at the end of the movie. It says the Guardians of the Galaxy will return, blah blah. And what was kind of a random character, random person in there, but it was still funny. It wasn't a huge role, but they had John C. Reilly.
Oh, yeah, really? How big is his part?
I mean, he's kind of in and out of it, but he's one of the cops for the Nova sector.
Okay.
So and he wasn't too bad. I mean, a couple little smart comments, not a role you're used to seeing him in. Meaning, he was still funny, but it wasn't the normal sort of John C. Reilly. Kind of some of it was, some of it wasn't. So out of the full 2 hours, he was in there, maybe in and out of it for about 20 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer.
Okay. I really love him.
It sounds like a short period of time, but it is funny because, like I said, he's one of the main cops. So initially, Chris Pratt's being chased because they're arresting him for theft. So they take him down. So now he's in that whole scene, and then they escape, blah blah blah, and then they show the cops again later, and then at the very end, there's this huge thing which I'm not going to go into detail. You guys are going to have to see it because I don't want to ruin it for too many people. But obviously there's an end showdown. And he's in it and that sort of thing. But it was a really good movie. I was really surprised. Now, really funny, and it was one of those movies where there wasn't really a spot if you need to go to the bathroom, they could get up and go and be back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Because if you did, you missed something. Because I'm saying that because about halfway through, I really did, and as soon as those credits started rolling, I was running for the door. And I was just waiting. It's come on, there's got to be a part where I can get up and leave for 2 minutes. If I get up now, I'm gonna miss it. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say I could still focus, but man, when it was done, it's oh, thank God, and literally running for the exit to the bathroom.
I went with someone to see the last Bourne movie, with the one with Jeremy Renner, and we're watching the whole movie, and I can tell they're getting kind of anxious, and I'm like, what's going on? I gotta go to the bathroom. When is this gonna be over? And I'm thinking, well, I think they've got quite a ways to go. I'm not quite sure, because that movie, it did kind of let up, but you just kept feeling like maybe it's gonna end, or maybe we're having a little bit of a lull. And I can't do it anymore. They said I have to go to the bathroom. So by the time they got back, the credits were rolling, and everyone was walking out.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. They're like, what's happening? I'm like, the movie's over. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, be careful, because you just lose sense of time. So that I did think the movie had a little bit more to go, and then it turned out not so much.
Well, yeah, you know what? Like I said, this movie there really wasn't that point where you could get up and go, because you really would have missed something. So, because normally I don't care that much.